a huge issue, and one that's already been mentioned, is our crumbling streets, our infrastructure, of course. Other than taxes, or other than creating yet another fee, how can we pay to fix the streets on an ongoing basis? Emily, we'll begin with you.
Thank you for the question. So we are in a similar situation as many cities across the state, across the country. The federal and state government has disinvested in transportation significantly. So one of the things that I've already been doing is talking with Senator Klobuchar about her plans, what she's doing on the federal level to create policy to bring more transportation funding into cities. The county just passed the sales tax last year. I'm already working with our county commissioners to ensure that we're getting every cent that we can to address the roads here in the city as a result of that. And then secondly, we can find some money in the budget. I will be very transparent in letting you know, I know this budget very well. I know the cuts that we have had to make. We do not have $6 and $8 and $10 million in our budget. I do believe we have $1 million that we can find to invest in streets that we aren't using already. And beyond that, it's opening the budget for a transparent conversation with the community about what are your priorities. Because what I'm hearing very clearly, no cuts to police, no cuts to fire, no cuts to plowing, no cuts to road maintenance. So it's very important that we have the discussion as a community about where we want to prioritize our budget.
Thank you. Chuck, on how to pay to fix streets on an ongoing basis.
Well, I'm one of the candidates here that have a blue-collar background. I know how to use, I've operated heavy equipment. I know how it works. I know how much, I have lots of friends that are in developers. I know how much it costs, one block for each road, $1 million a block these days, okay? So, if you go to chuckhorton.net and look up a story I wrote about Hawthorne Road, it's just an example of the waste of this city and how they mismanage our funds. They did Hawthorne Road, they put blacktop over the top of that road before the flood, or after the flood. Then they had to go back and tear it up because the infrastructure collapsed. So I ask you, Emily is on the city council right now, how come she wasn't aware of that? And how come I had to bring it to the city council's attention? Just like I brought Spirit Mountain to the attention when they didn't have the proper easement. I'm not even on the city council yet, and I already know these things.
Emily, 30 seconds.
Thank you. Yes, I just want to point out that that answer was really about looking back and not looking forward into what our options are. At one of our last forums, Chuck mentioned that we could dedicate a sales tax, and what I want to say about that is sales tax brings in 1%, $13 million into our city budget, into our general fund. If you take that money and dedicate it to streets, that's certainly an option. You will decrease our staffing by 50 to 60 people in this city, and I think it's important that if that's going to be a plan moving forward, that it's clearly stated where those cuts are coming from so the public can have a transparent understanding.
Chuck, 30 seconds. You mentioned cleaning up the mismanagement of spending. Other ideas for paying on an ongoing basis for street repairs?
Well, I'd like to address the fact that we will not have to lay off 50 to 60 people. That's a false choice. And those words didn't come out of my mouth, they came out of hers. It all begins with the budget, okay? My military training speaks on to the fact that you have to plan in reverse. And right now, we have not done that. We're projecting, and we've already wasted money on the Community Investment Fund, and we blame the casino for not coming on their end of the deal. Well, the city of Duluth didn't honor the end of the deal with us.